when you sign in, make sure you not subscribe, no Fred. Make sure you share this video. Share. Welcome to the Dr. Dare Live show on Facebook and YouTube. Hope everybody is having a good weekend. Start of the weekend. It's Friday. We made it. The week went by so fast for me. I don't know about you guys, but it really did go by fast for me. So, yeah. So tonight, of course, it is Topic Hop Friday, and we usually cover multiple topics. And if you want to bring your own topic, you're more than welcome. We will go over it. Usually I'll have topics already set up, but there is no rules that we have to maintain or stick to those topics. Today's two topics are, number one is how do you view yourself and how does it impact your interactions with others. So number one is how do you view yourself and how does it impact your interactions with others? And number two is have you ever not liked a social media friend based on what they post on their page? So those are the two topics that we are discussing today. When you come in, make sure you share. I hope everybody has had a great week. We're still recovering from last week's political chaos. I don't know what to say about that, but yeah, we are trying to recover from that. Come on in. Once you come in, click share. But the week has been pretty quiet. On the 20th, we had the inauguration going on. And so good things coming in 2021. Hopefully we get this virus under control. Hopefully everybody is still out there social distancing, wearing masks. I know we're getting tired of it, but make sure you stay healthy. Make sure you're working out, eating the right foods, drinking a lot of water, and taking care of yourself, taking some vitamins, going to your doctor's appointments. Don't skip those because of COVID. Make sure you're getting to the doctor. They are having all kinds of precautions when you go to a doctor's office. So make sure you're not skipping those things. Just make sure you're taking care of yourself. So again, this is the Dr. Dare Show, Facebook Live and YouTube Live. So you can pick either link that you want to join on and see me here tonight at 8:30 every Friday. And we usually cover multiple topics. I call it Topic Hop Friday because we hop from one topic to the other. And today's topic, we have two. And again, once you come in, say hello and then share this video. If you ever have a topic that you want to discuss, you can send it to me. I will cover it for you. You don't have to say a word. So our two topics tonight, number one is how do you view yourself and how does it impact your interactions with others? Number two is have you ever not liked a social media friend based on what they post on their page? So we'll give people a few minutes to come in, and then we'll get started on those topics. Hopefully everybody had a great week. The week went by kind of fast in my eyes. I just finished a great Zumba class, which was very great. It was great, I have to say myself, even though it was my class. The energy level was off the chain. We just danced and danced and danced while social distancing. We do pretty good. So great week. Still working on 2021 goals. Hopefully you are, or whatever you want to call them. You can call them intentions. You can call them goals. You can call them resolutions, whatever. I feel like everybody should have something that they're striving towards for the year, or not, because if you don't, you're just kind of playing it by ear and whatever happens. But if you're intentional on what you're trying to work on, then 9 times out of 10, most times those things will come true. So, when you come in, hit share and welcome to the Dr. Dare Show Live on Facebook and YouTube. When you come in, click share. Again, I was just going over the topics. that we will be covering tonight, giving people a little bit of opportunity to come in. We have our question number one is, how do you view yourself and how does it impact your interactions with others? And number two, have you ever not liked a social media friend based on what they post on their page? And we will get started momentarily. Hey, Karen. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. If you're on the live, tell Karen happy birthday. She is on YouTube. So if you can't see her post, she just said good evening. Miss Karen's birthday was yesterday. Yes. So again, tonight we are covering two topics. So I usually stay in the mental health arena when I'm thinking of topics, because I want this space or this time to be a place where everybody can kind of talk about their lives or mental health or things that they're going through. And this is a safe space. We keep it all in here. Hey, Nicole Kelly. Nicole Kelly says, happy Earth Day, Karen. Tanil says, happy birthday, Karen. Tanil, I have an interview with the Black Men Heal organization on Wednesday. I just realized I have a conflict. I think I do. No, I don't. Anyway, I got too much going on. Thanks so much, that voice. Yes. So tonight's topic, we have two topics. Number one is, how do you view yourself and how does it impact your interactions with others? And I will give kind of a introduction to that stuff. And then number two is, have you ever not liked a social media friend based on what they post on their page? That should be an interesting question. Even how you view yourself should be a very interesting question. Yep. So welcome everybody. When you get in the room, click share and share so that we will get more people. I get a lot of people looking at it afterwards. The numbers like climb up really fast, which is okay. I think some people have a little fear when they go on somebody's live. They're like, oh my God, they may call my name or pick on me or something, which we're not going to do. But anyway, yeah. So our first question, we will dive right in. We're just getting started if you're just joining. So our first question on Topic Hop Friday is, how do you view yourself and how does it impact your interactions with others? So let me just give you a little background of why I thought of this topic. Of course, I'm doing therapy all week, so some of this stuff pops in my head when I'm doing therapy. But I feel like we all have a idea or a perception of how we present to people or how we feel about ourselves. And sometimes I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that idea that you, or the perception you have about yourself, if it's negative, it's going to impact the way you interact with people. If it's positive, it's going to interact with the way it's going to present when you interact with other people. So I had the question of, how do you view yourself and how does it impact your interactions with others? Because if you have low self-esteem, just an example, if you have low self-esteem and you go around a group of people, they're going to see that. They're going to pick that up right away. It's going to make the situation worse probably for yourself if you go into that situation with thinking that you don't bring anything to the table, your energy level is low or whatever. And so that's kind of what I'm referring to. Like, how do you view yourself? Do you think you're a good person? Do you think you're a positive person? Do you think, are you the life of the party? Anything like that. And so what are your thoughts on this question? Thanks for the birthday, love, Kelly and Tanil. Yes. What are your thoughts tonight, y'all, on how do you view yourself and how does it impact your interactions with others, or if it, or does it, do you think? Yeah, because I think if you view yourself in a positive light and you carry that energy into a environment where you don't know people, it's going to be a positive interaction with other people. If you go into that environment, a new environment where you don't know people, and you have a negative perception of yourself, that's going to come across as well. And so I want to know, how do you view yourself? And I if you want me to, I can comment if I think that that's true or not. Most people's perceptions of themselves are probably incorrect because most people are very hard on themselves. They are very negative about the way they present to people, or their looks, or their weight, or whatever. We all, and I'm guilty of it too. If there's a problem area about yourself, or you think there's a problem area about yourself, you carry that energy around, and when you meet people, some people pick it up. And Nicole Kelly says it may depend on your mood. And yes, we can be hard on ourselves. So what do you mean, Kelly, about it depends on your mood? um when the way people uh understand you, or um perceive you, is your mood. Yeah, if you go in, and I'm speculating here. If you go in with a negative mood, or negative perception of yourself, that's what people are going to see, and that's just the way things are. So and yes, we can be hard on ourselves. Yes, majority of us. I don't know why us as humans, we are very, very, very hard on ourselves, and so yes. So the question for tonight, if you're just joining, how do you view yourself, and how does it impact your interactions with others? And so for me, I'll give an example. Like, it depends on my mood, and that's what I get what you're saying now, Kelly. Because like, if I go into an environment and I am having a good day, and I feel energetic, I feel good about myself, I got on a new outfit, and I'm walking into this environment, and I'm like, yeah, this is me. I can make new friends. I can just talk. I'm confident, or whatever. But as soon as, like, if I'm having a bad day, or this is me, if I gain weight and I go into a certain environment, I'm going to be less confident to myself, probably not going to conversate much, and then people are going to either have this negative perception of me because I'm not interacting with them as I should. But it has nothing to do with them. It's the way I'm feeling, actually. Hey, Mike Wombo, what's going on, sir? So Mike says, if you have a certain image you give, then you expect a certain type of response, or a certain type of individuals in your circle. And I agree with that. Basically, kind of saying the kind of energy that you give off, that's what you're going to get in return. And I believe that, because, I think a lot of people, when you have a bad mood and you bring that into a situation, and then you wonder why people don't like you, and not realizing that you're bringing in that mood. And that's why I brought up this question, because I want to see how people view themselves. I want to understand if people view themselves a certain way, and then how do they interact with others. Like, I know some, like, cocky people who they know they're confident. They walk in the room and they always have a good time, because people want to be around people that are confident. Yeah. What else y'all got out there? Good stuff, Mike. So Mike says, if you have a certain image you give, then you expect a certain type of response, and or certain type of individuals in your circle. And I agree with that. Whatever energy you give off is the energy that you want to that you will give back. And so Tanil says it definitely depends on the situation. My work personality is very different from my non-working personality. Yes, mine too. Actually, I just thought of that. Good stuff. Also around friends and family. Yep. I try to be positive, optimistic, fun, and laid back. But I also know I can be standoffish. Me too. Me too. But that's the tourist in me. I like to observe and study people. I'm the same way. I'm the same way because I don't know, especially if I like work, I'm a totally different person because I'm like, I feel like I don't want them to know all about me. I want my personal stuff to stay to my personal stuff because some people at work, I don't really, I'm not trying to connect with them that way. If that sounds all right. But then around family and friends, even around family and friends, I have different personalities. That's a good um insight. That's good insight, Tony. It definitely, Tony says, Tennille says, it definitely depends on the situation. My work personality is very different from my non-working personality, and also around friends and family. I try to be positive, optimistic, fun, laid back, but I also can be standoffish. But that's the tourist in me. I like to observe and study people. Oh, yes. We are like, because that's me all day. Especially if I don't know you, so I'm definitely gonna sit back and observe and you know, and I can go in as I could be confident but still be careful, I guess. So the first question is, how do you view yourself and how does it impact your interactions with others? So basically it's a social thing, like how your view of yourself impacts the way you socialize, in other words. Oh, Tanisha and Tanil, y'all are tourists. Tourist gang gang. So Tanisha, do you agree with Tanil? Do you have a different personality in the work environment versus school versus around family, around friends, you know? And I think, oh, and Delisha is, you're a tourist too? Okay. And so, Um, yeah. So I guess we all have different personalities because I'm an Aries, so I'm not even on the Taurus spectrum. Um, but I'm the same way. It depends on who I'm around and what personality. Now, if I'm just having a bad day, then that's a different story. But I'm talking about basically every time you present to people in any capacity, in any environment, how do you feel like you come across to them? And then how does that impact your interaction? Because a lot of us, what we don't realize is, and I was just talking to a bunch of clients this week about this, our the way we view situations are based on what we've went through in our past, how we learn how to be who we are around our family and friends. So we view every situation from that lens, whatever that is. If you grew up in the church and you believe women shouldn't wear pants and they shouldn't wear makeup and all of that stuff. So that's the way you're going to view women when you approach them. So we all bring those values and we bring those to the table when we're interacting with people. And sometimes if we're so judgmental in that capacity, then you realize that that's why you don't really have a lot of friends, because that's what you're giving off. And Tanisha says, I'm similar. Definitely depends on who I'm around and where I am at. Yeah, good stuff. So tonight's show, again, if you're just coming in, don't forget to click share. We have 2 questions. This is Topic Hop Friday, which means we hop from topic to topic. Yeah. And the number 1 was, how do you view yourself and how does it impact your interactions with others? And then number 2 is, have you ever not liked a social media friend based on what they post on their page. And Delisha says, oops, okay. Come on, mouse. Come on, mouse. I haven't touched it in a while. Oh, there we go. So Delisha says, I think, if I can get my mouse to work, I think I'm the same at work, home, and family. Maybe a bit more mindful and reserved at work, but personality-wise, the same. I can't control my facial expressions. Laugh out loud. Yep, me either. Now, walking into a new unknown environment, people I tend not to be as talkative and charismatic. I more so wait for people to approach me first. Got it. Yes. That's a good way to be. So it seems like the theme of that everybody's saying is that it depends on the environment, and that there's a little observation that takes place when you're interacting with people, because you have to kind of fill out the environment. You're trying to build trust. You're trying to build rapport. You're trying to make sure that it's a safe environment, which you should. And before, I know for me, I don't want to just give my 100% of who I am to everybody I meet, because you don't know who you are dealing with. And so you do have to be cautious. So I like that. I like that. So how do you view yourself, and how does it impact your interactions with others? Good stuff. And Nicole Kelly says, energy, energy, energy. It is about energy. And I know me, I don't know about y'all, but I can pick up. If I walk in the room and there's new people in there and I don't know them, I can usually pick up that energy right away. If it's low, if it's negative, or what we call in therapy low affect, which means that energy level is like really, really, really low, or if it's high affect, I'm in it, I'm there. But sometimes it just depends on me too, like what mood I'm in. Yeah. So if you're just joining, welcome to the Dr. Dare Show Live, Facebook Live, or YouTube. Pick one. You can join both. And we usually topic hop on Fridays, and we have two topics. The first one is, how do you view yourself, and how does it impact your interactions with others? And then we'll be getting to the second one momentarily. That is, have you ever not liked a social media friend based on what they post on their page? That's a good question. So, but we're still on number one. We'll be getting to number two in a second. So how do you view yourself, and how does it impact your interactions with others? And so I guess basically what I want to say is, the way you perceive who you are, how you look, the way you carry yourself, that does impact the way people see you. That does impact the way that you are perceived by people and the way you interact with them. And sometimes we'll get into environments and we don't know, we wonder why people don't like us. It's because of the way we presented ourselves in an environment. And so just be mindful. Mindfulness is the act of being aware of your every moment when you are interacting with people. Because sometimes if you're not aware, if you're not mindful, people will think that you are conceited. I've gotten that a lot. Or because I'm not focused on my environment. Usually I'm focused on one thing, but that can come off as cocky or standoffish or whatever. So always be mindful. And if you don't know what mindfulness is the act of being present in that moment. Because what happens is, if you're not present, a lot of things can take place. If you're always focused on, and I talk about this all the time on this show, if you're focused on the future so much, which you have no control over, that's going to create problems. You're not going to be present with the people that are in front of you, and they're going to think you are not connected or interested in communicating with them. If you're always focused on the past, we can't change that either. It's already happened. It's going to create issues for you as well. anxiety, stress, all of that stuff. So it's best to be mindful and stay in the present when you are interacting with people. And then, first of all, you want to do some self reflection, like, how do I perceive myself? And if it is in a negative way, if I always lack confidence, I'm always posting things on my page that seem like my moods are going up and down, and we'll get into that on the next question. But yeah, got a new message. New message. Yes, to mindfulness. Yes, mindfulness is the key. I tell my clients that all the time, because if you're not mindful, it usually causes anxiety and depression, and because you're always trying to fix what happened in the past, or you're always trying to fix what is, or always worrying about what you're going to do in the future, and neither one of those things you can control. You can only control what is happening right now. So if you ever want to be mindful, if you ever stressed, you find yourself stressed and you're thinking about something negative, find an activity that will get you in the present. If that is like painting or drawing or writing music or taking a bubble bath or whatever, then that's what you need to do. So yes. Any more on that first topic? So if you're just coming in, click share. And we are topic hopping tonight, which we have two topics. The first topic is, how do you view yourself and how does it impact your interactions with others? And number two is, have you ever not liked a social media friend based on what they post on their page? Yes, can't wait to get to that topic, because, I want to hear what y'all got to say about that. So the first one, we've kind of talked about, how do you view yourself and how does it impact your interactions with others. A lot of people online are saying that it depends on the environment. Some people say they don't change. They're basically the same. Some people say they change depending on the environment and who they are interacting with. Like, you interact differently with your family than you do your friends. You interact differently with your coworkers than you do your family and friends, and that's just life, you know. And I don't know where we learn to transition like that, but we do it. So anyway, anything else? Karen says, outside of work, I'm very observant and cautiously. I will pick up energy and go with how I feel. I present as extroverted to the degree that is required. Oh, that is interesting. So you're an extrovert when need be, Karen, and then basic and truthfully, you probably an introvert. And I think that's me too. I do my best to work on being present. Yes, being present is good. Mindfulness. I saw you, Delisha. Yes, mindfulness is a good thing to be aware of, because I think we create a lot of problems when we're not mindful. If we start, again, I'll keep reiterating this, if we start to focus on the past or the future, it's going to create, I have so many clients that come in and constantly their ruminating thoughts are, what am I going to do in the future? Like with this pandemic, what is going to happen? We don't know. None of us know what's going to happen with the pandemic. None of us know the outcome of the pandemic. So the thing is, you can't sit and worry about the pandemic because you can't control it. Or if you had trauma in the past, yes, process it, get through it, and understand it, but then leave it in the past and move forward. And so, because all of this stuff impacts the way you interact with others, and it impacts the way you feel about who you are and the way you present to other people. So it's really good to be mindful and stay mindful. And anybody have any questions about mindfulness, I can give you that. I can teach you what I do with my clients, there's a grounded exercise where you ground. Like, if you're stressed, you want to take all your five senses and you want to, whatever environment you're in, and I'll do it right now. So usually I tell my clients, okay, if they come in and they're chaotic and I can see that they're stressed about something, I'm like, okay, we're going to do a little mindfulness, because bringing you back to the present is important. So it's called the five senses. And so the first thing you do is, I tell my clients, name five things in the room that you see, and they start and describe those things. So they look at the five things. They say, I'm doing it right now. There's curtains. I see curtains. They're yellow. They're sheer. They're long. And then there's a TV. It's a 50-inch. It's got music on it right now. Da 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 da. So you get the point. I'm focused on these 5 things that I'm seeing, and then you do this, the hearing, the smell, or whatever. So you go through all the 5 senses, and that's going to ground you in the moment. I did that the other day when I was going to the doctor's office, and I was like, the traffic was so bad, so I felt like I would be stressed and my blood pressure would be up. So I did this grounding exercise. I stopped, I looked in the environment, and I was like, oh, there's a white truck going by, and it has 4 wheels. They're black. It's speeding. The back door has a scratch on it, and it just kept me present. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. But that's mindfulness, and you can use that. You can use that technique. So the next topic that we'll go into, because I'll just keep talking, is, have you ever not liked a social media friend based on what they post on their page? Have you ever not liked a social media friend based on what they post on their page? And what I was thinking, and this is my perspective, you bring your own perspective to it. I was thinking maybe like Facebook friends that you really don't know, but they're your friends. And sometimes they post things and you're like, what? And you don't really know them already. And so then this kind of gives you another, like, maybe a not so good feeling about them. What are your thoughts on this topic? Have you ever not liked a social media friend based on what they post on their page? If so, why or why not? Yes.
Good job over there.
Oh. Yes. So welcome, everybody. We are on the second topic. Have you ever not liked a social media friend based on what they post on their page? Any thoughts to that? Or did everybody go to sleep after I started talking so much? And it can get difficult. Social media can create a positive experience or a negative experience. Positive, where for me, I use it to market and you know, share positive things and you know, highlight some people's lives or whatever. But you know, it can go negative really quickly. Like if you're constantly posting negative things, or things that bring people down, or constantly trying to fuss at people online, um, and it can make people get a bad taste in their mouth about you. I've disliked several. I would only unfollow them so they wouldn't be on my timeline, and that's a good solution, Tanisha. Right? Like, why sit and watch it, and knowing, you know, this person is just, because most people are the same every day. So they're going to, if that's their personality, they're going to keep reposting the same type of things over and over again. But I've only unfriended one person overall. And you know, you can like silence them, Tanisha. Like if you get tired of hearing them, you can kind of put it, I think it's like is it a block? It's not a block. It's not a block, because a block will disconnect you from them altogether. But there's an option to where you can silence seeing their timelines and all that stuff, because it does get noticed. Annoying. Tanil says, I have deleted people for their posts, but they were former coworkers and I was already suspicious of them. They posted something racist and hateful. Oh yes, I had one of those too. I'm like, you got to go, because you are snooze them for 30 days. There you go. I knew it was some option that you can kind of snooze them, but I think at that point I'd be ready to get rid of them. Oh yeah, the racist piece. I'm sure a lot of people have, and I hear it all the time, have disconnected from associates or people they know on Facebook, because this whole Trump era has shown people's true colors on that aspect. And yeah, so I could see where not liking somebody with that stuff. Yeah. So have you ever not liked a social media friend based on what they post on their page? And people are saying yes, yes. Tennille says she's deleted some people. Um, Tanisha says she's unfriended one person because it gets too much, right? Sometimes you have to take a break. You know, what gets me too is the racist piece, and then always talking about the COVID numbers and just 10,000 died at this moment, 10,000, and then a minute later you're saying it again, or or you're threatening people, or religious people that threaten people. Like, I saw one post today that was like, what did it say? The death angel is here and he's around because of okay, I don't need to I don't need to hear that, you know. So, what are your thoughts on this? We got two people that chimed in. Have you ever not liked a social media friend based on what they post on their page? And so, if you're just joining, we're covering two topics. We've already discussed one. We're ending the second one in a second. But the first one was, how do you view yourself and how does it impact your interactions with others? And number two is, have you ever not liked social media friend based on what they post on their pages? Karen says, not liking a social media friend is something that happens. Like you said, some of your social media friends are people you don't know really well anyway, right? And so when they post something that's questionable, like racist things, or or their posts are always negative, or very explicit in nature, or something that goes against your value system, most times you're probably ready to disconnect or snooze them for 30 days. So, yeah, you got to protect your peace. You got to, even if it is social media. Because why sit there? If you know someone is racist, you go to their page, you see all of the emojis and the pictures, and it's giving you the negative vibe. Why sit there and continue to be? So you guys are saying that it is possible to not like someone based on what they post on their page. That's interesting. Anything else? Yes, so we're coming to the end of the show. I thank you. We've been on here for like 30 minutes, which is where I try to keep this time. Anybody, Tony says, I'm sure some people have snoozed me because my posts are too pro-black or liberal, and that's fine. And that's okay, yeah, right? Right. And it goes both ways. Like, I think it would be good if you have somebody that's racist and you don't want to be on their page, so you do unfriend them. And so, for instance, and I get that too. Like, if I post pro-black things, it's like, my thing is, I'm trying to tell you that I am black, whether you think I'm not, or you think I'm supposed to be quiet about black things. Anyway, Tanisha says, I remember one person being so controlling and annoying because I wouldn't give them the attention they wanted. Eventually, they deleted themselves from my page. Oh wow, trying to manipulate you via social media. And that is a thing. Bullying is a thing on social media. That's what I mean. Always trying, especially like religious people. Those threatening messages through Bible verses, that kills me. Like, why do you have to why do we feel like religion has to be presented in a threatening manner for people to listen? Is that the reason? Because I know for me, I shut out. I shut down when I see those. And I see that a lot on people's pages, like, you know, do this or you're going to hell, or say God loves you, or if you pass by this message, and you don't say that, you're gonna have bad luck. It's like, really? Good. So, have you ever not liked a social media friend based on what they post on their page? Good stuff. Good stuff, y'all. Anything else before we close out this evening? I really thank y'all for taking the time to chat with me. If you have any topics, I'm open to taking topics. I don't care what they are. It gives us, a different outlet, a different perspective with your questions. You can send me the questions. I will cover them. You don't have to cover them. I'll cover them if you want. If you want to chime in and be on the screen with me, come on, but you don't have to. But thank y'all for joining in. We covered 2 topics tonight. How do you view yourself and how does it impact your interactions with others? And then number 2, have you ever not liked a social media friend based on what they post on their page? So number 1, we do believe that we are in agreement on this page is that we do carry ourselves in different environments, different ways. We kind of compartmentalize the way we behave in certain environments, which is okay. And then, have you ever not liked a social media friend? We all agree there were instances that we did not like those friends. So, anyway, social media bullying. Karen says social media bullying and manipulation is real. It is. Oh my gosh, it is. And it's almost like it's crazy the way we communicate with each other. We actually put it in an electronic form. The bullying of people, the Trump supporters, the bullying, wanting us to have their views and the bullying by religious people. Unfortunately, Tanisha says, unfortunately, I got too many Beyonce fans as friends on their page. Oh, you tried it. You tried it, Tanisha. I'm about to snooze you for 30 minutes. No, just kidding. But yes. Tanisha says, unfortunately, I got too many Beyonce fans as friends on their pages. So now I'm going to start sending you Beyonce pictures and stuff. Social media chain letters. Yes, in an electronic form. That's exactly some of the things that I see. And it's like, So, anyway, y'all, it's been real. Great conversation as usual. If you have topics, please send them to me. I'm open for them, or bring them on the show and we'll talk about them. Nothing's too risque. I want to talk about everything. I want to talk about different things. If you're just joining, we have covered 2 topics tonight. We're on the tail end of ending the show. The first one is how do you view yourself and how does it impact your interactions with others? And number 2 is have you ever not liked a social media friend based on what they post on their page? And we got a lot of good comments. If you're just joining, rewind the show back and take a listen to all the things that we cover. We cover some good stuff. We covered the term mindfulness, and hopefully you got some tips on mindfulness. Staying mindful, that's important for mental health, is especially now when we're isolated in the house and we can't really do all the things that we want to do. Being mindful, finding things that we can focus on and not focus on the things that we can't do. Excuse me, and not focusing on the way our lives has changed, but kind of focus on what is in front of me. Like right now at this show, we should be focused on talking to each other and that's what mindfulness is about. And trust me, if you start to be mindful of everything that you do, then it's going to help create better mental health. But anyway, all of the black Trumpers should all die. Oh my God. Mike, you are crazy. I don't understand them, but oh yeah. Yeah. Mike says all the black Trumpers should die. We're not wishing any death on anybody. Maybe just silence them a little, but not dynamite. I know you're kidding. I know you're kidding. But anyway, y'all, it's been a great show. Thank y'all for sharing. If you have any topics, please send them to me. You know, and no topic is risque. Just, bring it in. Tanisha, you want to be starting something? Yeah, Tanisha, I'm sending Beyonce the Beehive over to her house after this show. And all she gonna hear knocking at the door is like, bzzz, bzzz. They're not gonna knock, they're gonna buzz. And and then when you open the door, there's not gonna be anybody there, Tanisha. It's just gonna be a bunch of bees, and they're gonna hide, and then you're gonna close the door, and then they're just gonna do that all night so that you won't get any sleep because you've messed with the beehive. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for joining. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. Be safe. And have fun. Be mindful. Do something fun for yourself. Practice self-care. Self-care is important, especially during these times. Mike says, I love Queen Bee. Stop hating. Tanisha, you heard that? Mike says he loves Queen Bee. Stop hating. But Mike, guess what? So Tanisha, she's on this page, right? So you know that Reface Map app. Sorry. So she put herself on Beyonce's body, and so that's a whole nother topic. But anyway, y'all, great show. Thanks, Karen. Great show. The mindfulness information is awesome. Thank you. Tanisha says never. All right, y'all. Have a good night, and thank y'all for joining.